state your specific researchable problem, the nature of the problem, the nature might call for a qualitative treatment of the information. But some other research problems might call for a mixed research uh, process, while others might call for a qualitative research. If your specific researchable problem tells about the effects of motivation in the oral speaking skills, you need to test a student's level of motivation with one of the tests that already exists and have been made in have been created in psychology and language teaching or whatever. And then you measure students' level of motivation towards what? Towards what you are exploring. Oral participation in the classroom, probably. Motivation towards oral participation in the classroom. You need to make some tweaks and some changes, and you measure your students' level of motivation, and then you compare the students' level of motivation to how well they do in at speaking. So then you need to determine what level they're speaking. You need to assign them a grade. You need to give them a second test to see how well they speak and see if the students that said that were more motivated to speak either participated more in class, had higher grade, or did better at a test, at a specific test. So that means quantitative research. But if your research problem about oral speaking is that you need to know why students decide not to participate or not in oral interactions in the classroom, this is a subjective nature in that problem, and then you're going to be asking students for them to say what reasons they have thought of, they believe that keeps them from participating, or what reasons are moving them to participate more often as they are speaking. This is a qualitative research study because of the nature of the phenomenon you are investigating. But you can decide to study both things together. You want to know how the level of motivation correlates with the result in the speaking skills, and what moves students to speak more in class. You can in one single problem that is not correct. You need to be more specific, but if you are able to put it, then you have a mixed method. And once you have the mixed method, and that happens with all the three types of general design of methods, you have three mixed method studies. You have a concurrent mixed method study when you get the information at the same time, qualitative and quantitative information at the same time, using interviews while you're doing tests. But you can also or you can have an interview which is structured interview, which is like a questionnaire, but instead of giving them a questionnaire to answer on their own, you are interviewing the person, but you're following the structured interview to answer two types of questions, which is qualitative and quantitative questions. But this is with research studies, and some of them are feasible to conduct statistical measures. Others, you just describe the percentages that even though it is statistically related, I won't say that it is pure. Then you're going to be dealing with very specific statistical tests, such as t-tests, chi-square, correlational tests, and multiple regressions, when you can see what is the effect of a variable on other variables, depending variables, and nominal variables you have. Which of all the variables contributes the more, or to which extent all of them are related to the problem. This is complex. This is something I don't understand myself. And for me to do so, I need to learn statistics, go read again, and decide on which one of the tests I'm going to be using, because they are many, many, many tests that I don't understand very well. Decide to conduct a qualitative study, you have basically, I need to go drink some water. I should have brought water for beginning this class. I'm feeling tired. But I have all this in my head. For the qualitative research studies, you have 5 basic qualitative research types. One of them is the phenomenological research study, where you seek to study people who have lived experience, such as surviving after an earthquake, for 1 week, and then being rescued. How many people can you find? Many. So your PERP questionnaires and quantitative research studies, here the purpose of a qualitative study is to understand the problem better. Since you seek to understand the problem better, you go talk to about human subjects, about their subjectivity, their beliefs, their experiences. So you will be observing them. There are different types of observations. It can be participant observations, where you are participating. It can be an observation when you are detached from them and you're seeing them doing things. It can be a combination of both. It can be longitudinal, because you spend more time in the place, or you go at various times. It can be at only one visit. This is okay. I went astray because I went into the method section. The type of qualitative research study is phenomenological, because you study the person who has lived the experience, and the purpose is to see how this experience can be transferable to other people who are at risk of living that experience.